Hello guys. Today we have a list of top 5 metal pipe. Número 5. Real life metal pipe.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Brickmaker channel. And this is kind of a new thing that I want to start doing on this channel. Some of my old videos I believe I could have done better. So I'm going to redo the editing and redo the audio. The first one being, can you beat Fallout New Vegas while only laying pipe? I'm hesitant to call this a new series because it's not really going to be a series. But what it is me going back to a video that I don't think was my best work. Something that I maybe rushed or didn't have the experience yet to do better kind of audio, better editing. So this will be the first video in that kind of series, like I said. Don't worry, videos like this won't disrupt the weekly normal uploads. You'll still be getting those videos every Friday/Saturday. This is something I just want to sprinkle in and around when I've got a bit more free time. But less about why I'm doing the video and more about the video itself. The video concept of beating Fallout New Vegas with just a lead pipe to me was interesting because of a weapon called the Humble Cudgel. The Humble Cudgel being a unique lead pipe, which doesn't just have its own unique design, it also had its own unique attack, which is the reason that I wanted to do this video. The reason it became, well, laying pipe, well, I'm sure you guys probably know the joke of laying pipe. If you don't know, it's taking a person to bed. And I thought I'll sprinkle that in as a little bit of a bonus, so it will be a bit of a different task from A to B, not just get the Humble Cudgel and try and beat the main story, but sprinkling in some added missions, let's just say. Those missions being, who is willing to accept my Humble Cudgel, that's a good way to put it. With the Humble Cudgel in hand though, I decided to head back to Goodsprings, take out some rascally bottles, and take out Joe Cobb. It's here where we can see the lights out feature in all of its glory. The Humble Cudgel lets you do a double hand axe handle down, in both VATS and just with your heavy attack. It's so powerful in fact that it turns the entire town of Goodsprings against me. Trinity knows true power when she sees it, and I bet she's just licking her lips at the thought of this old lead pipe being laid down on this bar. Third attempt at taking out Joe Cobb though, and I eventually do without wiping out the entire town with it. And after signing with Ringo, I decided to take out all of his friends as well. With the Ghost Town gunfight quest finished, I can head back to Freeside. The reason being is that I got to pick up some vault suits from old Mick at Mick and Ralph's. The reason being that there's someone on the strip that requires vault suits, and she will trade, well, cudgeling with it. It's all part of my master plan. And you know what rhymes with master? Master. Finally making my way onto the strip, I can pass the credit check with, well, everything I've gathered on my way here. I decided to make my way straight over to Benny, as, well, most of you will probably know that in terms of laying the cudgel, Benny's probably one of the more famous situations where you can do it with the Black Widow perk. However, I currently do not have the Black Widow perk, as I am a man. And despite me taking out 2 bodyguards, I feel like being a man, Benny would still be down for it, because despite me wiping out 2 of them, he has not decided to attack. I have to antagonize him even more with the worst weapon in the game. My words. Although I can't use the Black Widow perk on him, I can still give him a good humbling and a good cudgeling. And there's plenty left for the old bodyguards as well. I'm able to finish Benny off with the lights out feature, and speak to Vulpes just outside the tops. I want to go speak to the Legion now, but before I do that I gotta go speak to Sarah. And she is someone who requires a good cudgeling, but I have to do a quest for it. One of 2 in the game really that require a quest, and Sarah's is definitely not the most difficult one, or the more time consuming one, we'll say that much. But after leaving the strip, I decide to head back over to Nipton, so I say hello to Vulpes again. And I do love that he recognizes that you've already spoken once before. Gleefully full of joy after speaking to Vulpes for a second time, I head straight to the fort. The reason being that because it's a melee build, and because at this point I hadn't done many Legion playthroughs in a while, I decide to side with the Legion. I tell Mr. House to stick his plan in his pipe and smoke it. Get it? In his pipe and smoke it? I'm using a pipe, and why can't the pipe blow up this generator? But luckily for the Legion, you don't need to blow up the generator, you can just upgrade the army, and Caesar never bothers to double check. Despite telling Mr. House that I was going to shove it up his butt, he is, I don't know, very accepting of me coming back, and that is his greatest downfall. I mean, this guy has lived for what, 200 years after the bonds fell, and after I had pretty much tricked him, lied to him, he still let me right back into his house. With a job well done, I decided to head over to the farm. It's here where we have the longest quest possible to complete this silly challenge that I've set myself. And to get my mind away from the goddamn hell that I'm going to put myself through travelling to all of the forts, I decided to head over to the Casa Madre. The Casa Madre being somewhere where you can get free humblings out with, you know, just the simple power of, well, good old fashioned bottle caps. With a pep in my step and a song in my heart, I decided to head straight over to Vault 22 and progress the Red Lucy quest. Getting through Vault 22 is as fun as it always is. You gotta fight off the spore carriers, you gotta run around 100 different rooms, but I do get the chance to pick up some more vault suits, which is nice. Kind of two birds with one stone, isn't it? You gotta go to... God, I hate Vault 22! As a thank you for my great hard work, she decided to send me off to a Radscorpion nest. God, I just gotta get a bit of anger out. Where's Oliver? Bring him here. Don't you look down at me like that! That is by far my favourite feature of the Humble Cudgel, the way that they look at the ground when you're running up. I also take this chance to head over to Major Knight so I can repair the Humble Cudgel. Only about 600 caps to get it back up to full. That's not bad. I mean, it's my only weapon, so it's not a huge drain on funds. But with a bit of Cialis put back in the whole Humble Cudgel, I'm able to take on the Radscorpions. This is probably one of the more difficult quests to do for Red Lucy. I mean, giant Radscorpions pack a hell of a wallop. But I do grab the pile of eggs, and at this point there's only one set of eggs that I'm interested in. Fried eggs. I haven't eaten all day, and I skipped breakfast again. She does a nice thing here though and says me to get the fire gecko eggs, which is, again, probably a nice bit of respite in this quest line. Fire geckos are by no means difficult, and I grab those eggs no problem. As a huge thank you and a fine reward for grabbing all of those, she sends me off to a Night Stalker cave. And on the way there's a bunch of Deathclaws. I'm starting to suspect that she might not like me anymore. But the mission is set and the plan is ahead, so no point whining about it. Gonna get myself into Bloodborne Cave and fight not just Night Stalkers, but the place with the legendary Night Stalker. Before I took on this quest though, I knew that I would need the knockdown perk, which I have luckily been able to get at this point. Getting knockdown plus the piercing strike perk makes any melee build just unstoppable in Fallout New Vegas, so the stronger and the higher levels that I'm going, the easier the game is getting for me. But no, they decide to throw me another curveball and send me off to go to a Cazador nest. Probably the hardest pile of eggs to grab. And not only that, they don't send you to a simple place like a cave or anything, they send you to the back of the Great Khan's camp right near Jacobstown to climb up the steepest hill possible. If you've never done this part of the quest before, there is a super mutant master who is a fat man. You know what rhymes with master and fat man? A fat man masturbate. I grab the pile of Cazador eggs and head back to Red Lucy. I mean, whatever the final part of this quest will be, cannot be more difficult than that. I gotta get what? Deathclaw eggs? From where? Oh, well, I know what I'm grabbing. There is no way that I am breaking my way through Quarry Junction with just a lead pipe. Despite how much pipe has been laid, I am not doing that. So I decide to take the stealthy approach. Anyone that has to go speak to the Great Khans at the back of this place, I would highly recommend the stealth boy route. But do bring more than one, because that was a mistake that I had made in this playthrough. One stealth boy is simply not enough. It will run out before you get to the back. And as you can see here, that will usually result in you getting your little back passage clapped. Also, even in stealth mode, they'll see you. Especially Alpha and the Deathclaw Mother, they'll catch you a lot. So the tactic that I used was hitting turbo a few times, getting myself into a good position to get hidden, put on the stealth boy, and then make my way over to the exit like that. But that takes a good few tries. If you're trying to do this on one life, do not bother. On my 700th attempt, I finally were able to get past all the Deathclaws, and the Deathclaw mother has ran off somewhere else with all of her children. I'm able to pick up the Deathclaw eggs and try and make my way back out the way that I came. That was a silly decision. As if you don't know, the section where the great cans are is, I don't know, has a force field, something magic. The Deathclaws just decide that that's too high. They don't like walking up hills, their knees are sore. And if the second you get those eggs you start making your way towards the back of the junction, they will pretty much leave you alone. They won't follow you up here, you pretty much instantly become invisible to them. Which I think is the game's mechanics of protecting the cans, because they're quite important for the cans quest. But with that I'm able to fast travel back to the Thorn, and I have finally finished her quest line. With around 4,000 caps in my pocket and a dinner bell in my bag, there's only one more dinner bell left to ring. I came ready with my pants already off, and do the sexiest walk I could think of. This is also a good opportunity to get the Bounty Hunter jacket off of someone, because Red Lucy is one of the only characters in the game that has it. You can pickpocket it right now. If you don't, you can still get off Caleb McCaffrey. That's a nice PSA. But we're not interested in PSAs, we're interested in PDAs, so we're going to start getting some more vault suits for Sarah. But before we do that, I gotta get my head into the right space. I'm going to head over to the Gomorrah and get two of the easier ones out of the way. Similar to the Casa Madrid, you can just use good old fashioned American bottle caps. If you're also interested, Joanne offers a quest line for the Omertas, so you can do that as well. And the next person is a hop, skip, and a jump over in the back garden. I'm here for some razzle dazzle, so let's dazzle that razzle and razzle that crazzle. Where am I? Also, we're going to go speak to the Garretts, because they offer another free, pretty simple cudgellings. The first one being Beatrix Russell. You can meet her over at the Old Mormon Fort. Santiago's an option. You can also grab Old Ben, but Santiago allows you to do 2 quests for the price of 1. And lastly, the most important one. The one that only matters. The fully integrated security technotronic officer. Or as the streets call him, Fisto. Servos activate. Number 5 Metalopipe. I can't feel my legs. But with one already down, there's only 2 left to get around. These ones are particularly unique because they come with their own sound effects. Just take a quick listen to Beatrix's one. Now you probably thought that was quite strange, but at least it felt, you know, somewhat on character. Have a listen to what happens with Santiago. What's going on here? I'm pretty sure that was Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher 3 using Igni. After being old Fistoed, ghouled and well, burned alive, I decided to take on the boomers as I need to grab some vault suits. Now, I know what you guys are probably already writing in the comments, and at this point in the recording I didn't know this, but I do know it now. The boomer's jumpsuits do not count towards the vault suit limit she needs. Sarah requires vault suits to complete the quest. The boomer's flight suits just get you extra caps. So me wiping out the boomers right now is... well... is it a waste of time? Yeah. It's not a waste of caps though, and I do get the howitzer firing pin, so... I mean... God, it's just frustrating watching it now. Watching it right now in this recording, knowing that I could have just helped them. It'd probably have been quicker than wiping out every goddamn boomer on the Nellis Air Force Base, because there's a lot of them, and you got to take them all out so you can fast travel away. However, Caesar's happy either way. He does not mind how you take out the boomers. In fact, he is quite happy. He does, however, send me over to deal with the white gloves, which I decided this time that I wanted to complete this quest in favour of Mortimer. I never do complete Mortimer's quest. This is a particularly evil run I'm doing. I'm only realising it now. I decided to put the stipulation in the quest line on, and I decided just to be extremely evil as I did it. I don't, however, have enough points to get the necessary skills to complete it at this current moment, so I decided to get some, well, I was going to use the word easy XP, but I decided to go get some XP by wiping out the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood, for me, I've always felt, they're usually easier with a melee build, especially when this Piercing Strike perk and Knockdown. If you can get a Paladin one-on-one, there's nothing they can do against the old humble cudgel. And once you start getting into the lower levels, you can really start making these battles a lot more in your favour. You can get them isolated into just one-on-one areas. After taking out the head Paladin and the Elder, it's just time to take out Taggart. I generate a self-destruct password and initiate the self-destruction of the bunker. All in all, I've had more difficult times down here. I generally believe it's harder to do this with a gun. Melee weapons just seem to be so much more effective against the Brotherhood. With that, I'm able to throw my speech skill up to 48, throw on some naughty nightwear, and go back and speak to old Mortimer. I do, however, need 62, which is a little bit frustrating. So I do the only reasonable thing and spend 4,000 caps getting my charisma up. And I put my luck as well, just to be safe. Oh god, you gotta be kidding me, 1 point. Thank God I had some mentats in my inventory, because I did not know if I had them when I was doing this quest. I decided to go take out old Ted, and I found a pretty nice way of doing it without annoying all of the people in the Ultralux. You can just make Ted run into the flamers up here. Once the white gloves have accidentally hit Ted, they'll all just aggro on him. So I just have to make sure to watch that it gets taken out. With that, I can take his blood, get myself into a stealth boy, and frame his father for his own murder. I throw his blood around the room, and go snitch on him to the Securitrons. I take a nice front seat to watch old Heck Gunderson get old Beck Bunderson, and completely beyond the brief quest properly this time. Generally might be the only time I've done it properly in any sort of challenge, especially this way, framing Heck Gunderson. But we've already taken out the Brotherhood. Caesar can just speed up all of his quest line to get me to help him with his old brain problem. I did say a good humbling and a good cudgeling might be able to fix his brain problem, but he did not seem overly enthusiastic and instead asked me to perform surgery. But I'm a cudgel king, I know what I'm doing, so I decided to give him an old cudgel anyway. Oh god. Crap, wait, I can talk my way out of this. I medicine you, Lysias. And speaking about giving some medicine, I decided to head back with all my boomer jumpsuits and speak to Sarah. It is here where I hand over all my boomer jumpsuits and think, wow, I must not have gotten enough. And head back to the boomers. God, like I said before, it's almost just hard watching it. At least they've got lead pipes I can use to repair my own. It's at this point I realise that these do not work. So I've got to go through all the vaults anyway. In terms of recording, this is what took most of the time, was going through all the vaults. And I swear, I only picked the vaults that had the least amount of vault suits first. I just did it the slowest way possible because I just decided not to research it properly. However, my lack of planning aside, I did get to see this cool, nifty little glitch. If you use a knockdown feature on the Overseer Ghoul and knock him down his staircase, he will just elastic band his butt all the way back up. I swear he can come down and attack you, but just in this situation I was somehow able to get him in this weird elastic band stuck situation. I mean, he's suffered enough. The poor man, or woman, I don't know. But with that I'm able to get another jumpsuit, get the password, and also release the other Vault 34 inhabitants. There is a particular reason that I wanted to do this. If you head over to the Aerotech building, after you've completed that part for Vault 34, you can meet the 4 members of Vault 34. I like that his name is Horowitz. It's close to Howitzer, because these are the same people that came from the Boomers. However, similar to their Boomer comrades, they are going to suffer the same fate, as I require their jumpsuits for a very good reason, very humble reason. I'm going to get I put on my naughty nightwear, and I am very eager and very sure that I have finally completed this quest properly. God, I put on a leopard print for nothing! It's now I gotta head over to another vault, Vault 11. And it's here that I've finally realised that certain vaults just have tons and tons of vault suits. I'm pretty sure Vault 11 has around like 20 to 25. You only need like 30. So there's a good expression that my mother likes to use. 3 sides of a square. Instead of just going from point A to point B, I decided to go from point A to Z, Y, W, blah blah blah. Pretty much I took the long way to complete this quest, making it even harder than Red Lucy's. However though, with all 25 jump suits finally handed over, we can head down into the chambers of the vault and finally complete the final cudgeling. The Cudgeling 2, Sarah's Revenge. But with that I've got a spring in my step and a song in my heart. It's time to get into the end game. After quickly repairing all my stuff at the Mojave outpost, I go over to speak to Kato. What's up, Mr. Hostilius? You're looking a little bit hostile. God, the joke was so bad I fell off the bridge. God, the joke was so bad that I've locked Kato into the floor. Look at him. What's he doing? He's just floating. He's riding an invisible horse. That's fine. I freed him. It's okay, guys. I freed him. Don't worry. Why are we shooting? Why are we shooting? Second attempt, and I just make my normal way over to the dam. No hostilities here. No Kato hostilities here. Right. Okay, good. Right. Sweet. Where's Kato? Where is Kato? Where did he go? Why are you shooting? Right, this time no mistakes are. God damn it! After far too much time just trying to walk to the dam is done, I can finally speak to Kato and get our plan to take out President Kimball. Now of course I want to get him with the humble cudgel, but my god, he is nimble for an old man in a suit. So I've got to try and get him to run into me, because once I've got him caught in vats of that lights out feature, there is no way that he'll be surviving. Avoiding all of the ranges and get 3 lights out off. And I gotta give him his credit, he takes those hits like a champ. 2 hits to go down, just in the suit as well. He's a politician, not a fighter. But with Arizona Killer complete, I can make my way back to my rightful spot on the throne. Yeah, let's get a good shot of me there. Look at him. Look at that mouth breather. He's beautiful. And my character looks a lot like Lucius, I've just noticed. After reconciling with my twin, I finally get the quest to take out the dam. I still mouth breathe in the presence of the legate, but get my mission set. Take out General Lee Oliver. I decide to add insult to injury and complete the entire quest with President Kimball's suit, because I feel that that's very fitting. I release all of the Legion inside the intake towers and make my way to the main office. This one's filled with heavy troopers, but after the Brotherhood, 2 heavy troopers is by no means a difficult task. Not for the man with the humble cudgel. I've also been putting a lot of stuff into like damage and DT, so even with just a suit on, I'm been able to tank quite a lot of hits. Also buying the implants and having a billion stim packs also helps. I got a pretty sweet hit on this heavy trooper, which I did not know was able to carry anti-material rifle. I thought that was just the veteran rangers at the end that have it. And I let the general know that he is cruising for a bruising. Or a better way of saying it, he is hounding for a pounding. And I am happy to pound him. Get back here, and he's vanished. I'm able to knock a veteran ranger over a wall like Barry Bonds in his prime. And even though I'm getting direct shots to the face, I'm not taking much damage at all. I mean, this NCR Ranger is so happy for me, he decides to hit a nice little dance move for me. I mean, look at that. Look at those moves. Look at those sweet moves. You should call those moves the lights out. Action movie pose. And beat up a guy while he's down. Don't you try and stand up. Just accept the cudgeling. Accept it. Live it. Feel it. The general swings over his big old back door, ready for the lead pipe to enter. And I just wanted to wipe out all the heavy troopers first. I wanted to make sure it was just me and the general left. And something very interesting happens here. You'll see it when it happens. But I finish off what I believe to be the final heavy trooper and set my sights on Lee Oliver. I get the trademark humble cudgel head tilt and make my way to go speak to the legate. I decide to put on all of General Lee Oliver's outfit because for some reason, on top of using only lead pipes, only laying pipe, I decided just to also wear the outfits of all the people I take out. It's here that I realised I don't know if it's a glitch, but I seem to have been able to take out all the heavy troopers so fast that they all didn't spawn in on time. So I had to go down, went back up to take out another heavy trooper, still can't leave, so I decided to go back up again. And just like a ghost out of a movie, there's just a random heavy trooper, right? Just walking the hallways as if nothing's... What's he been doing? Where's he been staying? He's just been wandering around. Telling you guys, the power of the cudgel. I can take out all of Lee Oliver's heavy troopers so quick they don't even spawn in on time. But with that, I finally get the indicator that the quest is finished and I can go speak to the legate. He lets me know that the cudgeling has pleased him. He lets me know that the only thing left to do is defeat the holdouts and burn the bodies. Indeed, answering the question that yes, you can beat Fallout New Vegas while using a lead pipe, while only laying pipe, and while, I don't know, skin changing and wearing the outfits of all the people you defeat. I hope you guys enjoyed my, I don't want to call it a remake, but kind of my redo of this old challenge. If you guys had watched the original video, let me know down below. Did you like this? Did you prefer this video to the older one? This one I was able to cut 12 minutes out, which just shows me that my old editing style was not as refined as it is today. And I also believe that my audio was a bit more focused and a bit more, I don't want to use the word professional, but a bit more, what's the word? Listenable. Is that a word? Listenable. As the first video was a bit, I think the best way to describe it is a bit juvenile. If you guys want to see me do this more, let me know. If there's any videos that you think, yeah, do that one again, it wasn't very good, leave it down below and I promise I won't take it personally. I have 2 other videos that have already been put back into the old editing floor to be redone. But like I said before, these won't be taking over the regular weekly uploads. These will just be extra videos. But other than that, I won't keep you guys around any longer. Please leave a like, leave a comment, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.